Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has addressed the US Congress, saying America and Israel must stand together if they're to defeat what he called the forces of barbarism. He's looking to boost support for the war against Hamas in Gaza and has vowed to, in his words, finish the job. But thousands of demonstrators gathered outside the capital to protest about the war, and dozens of Democratic members of Congress refused to attend his speech. An American flag was burnt and statues outside Union Station were defaced. From Washington, Tom Bateman reports.
A short walk back into the American limelight after months of fraught ties between the US leadership and the Israeli Prime Minister. Here among friends, many Republicans, but some notable absences from Joe Biden's Democrats, Benjamin Netanyahu started by thanking the president.
He rightly called Hamas sheer evil. He dispatched 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East to deter a wider war. And he came to Israel to stand with us during our darkest hour, a visit that will never be forgotten.
He quickly turned to the issue of hostages still held by Hamas, with families and one of those freed watching, trying to point to his accomplishments.
Israel has already brought home 135 of these hostages, including 7 who were freed in daring rescue operations.
Outside, the protesters came in their thousands, headed to the heart of US democracy, or as close as they could get. Anger has raged over the huge numbers of civilians killed in Gaza.
It's shameful that he's been invited to speak before Congress. It's shameful what our government has been allowing to happen and aiding and funding.
You can see how the pressure has been building on Benjamin Netanyahu. And then there are his critics at home, some of whom have accused him of not gripping a ceasefire deal hard enough because of his own political problems. And so arriving here at the US Capitol for him is the big prize as he tries to face off his opponents.
The Israeli leader castigated the demonstrators, but there was more to come inside the chamber. A silent protest from Rashida Tlaib, the first Palestinian-American woman to serve here. Roughly half the elected Democrats in Congress are believed to have stayed away, with the Vice President, Kamala Harris, also absent, her office said due to a scheduled clash. And Mr. Netanyahu addressed the move by the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, who is seeking an arrest warrant against him.
The ICC is trying to shackle Israel's hands and prevent us from defending ourselves.
Deafening praise in Congress, but there may be less behind closed doors tomorrow, as Mr. Netanyahu meets President Biden, an alliance backed by arms, but blighted by the fraught politics between its leaders. Tom Bateman, BBC News, Washington.